Hello, this is Mari Moraga.
And this is John Ramos, and this is Familia Flamenca Podcast.
Today we want to share with you guys everything that you need to know to be able to accompany flamenco dancers as a guitarist, okay? You need to know some structure tips, repertoire skills, and a few things to be able to accompany any flamenco dancer. Doesn't matter if you already know him or herself or not.
And now we've already talked about certain words in the past, in the previous episodes of the podcast, like such words as salida, cierre, escobilla, remate, marcaje, letra, y falsetas. I'll let Mario take over on this one.
That's right. So I'm going to be sharing the screen. And remember that this is a topic that so many people let us know on our forums. Remember that on the first comment below, you can click and you will see a form in which you can leave your topics. And we will be so grateful to be talking about them on the next episodes. Okay, so let's go into the screen and let's share with yourself what is the real structure of a dance performance. Let's go. What we need to know as a guitarist to accompany dancers. Okay, so we're going to talk about the dance performance structure. Let's go step by step. It doesn't matter the style right now. Okay, we'll be talking about a few details after at the end. But right now, let's talk of the usual or the general structure of any dance performance. Okay, so let's talk about it. The first thing that we need to know when we are on a stage, for sure, we always need to do an introduction. Whenever you attend a show, you always see introductions everywhere of the show. Mm-hmm. And for sure, the first introduction is
the guitar intro. Then we have a singer intro. And then we have the dancer intro.
Usually we call it, as we know before, llamada, or maybe salida. Maybe more salida. I like more salida in this case. You remember that we talked on some episode before. Salida means to exit, but in this case, salida is to get into the stage. Okay, so salida. Okay, so once the three of us, guitar, singer, and dancer, on this order, usually on this order. Remember that it's a general structure which will work on the 80% of the times. So after the introduction, okay, we will start with the main structure. For example, the next thing after the dancer, usually here you will hear like a really big close, a big moment in which the audience usually applauds. Ole, amazing, usually. Once we do this big close, usually we have the singer first letra. Remember that we talked about the letra on different some episodes before. Okay, so today we are on the fourth episode, man. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, the number fifth. That's it. Okay, the singer do the first letra, complete letra, and after the first letra, usually automatically, as soon as the singer finish, the guitar is doing the first falseta. Okay. Usually this falseta has a big close by this dancer also, plus a big close by dancer. Usually dancers need this falseta to know how it sounds and to more or less create a special structure for it. Okay, and be also dancing what the guitarist is really doing. Mm-hmm. So usually after this big close by the dancer, at the same time that the guitar is finishing the falseta, the singer starts to sing the second letra. Singer doing the second letra. Okay. And usually after the second letra, we also have a big close by the dancer with a big applause also. Okay. Okay, that's the first part, maybe more or less. After the second letra and a big close and a big applause section by the audience, after this section, okay, we have the escobilla. Remember that each style has its own music for the escobilla section. Okay, so imagine that you're playing Soleá, if you're playing Alegrías, if you're playing Taranto, if you're playing seguirilla, whatever you're playing, each style has its own music section. Okay, so at the end, we will do the checklist of things that you need to know as a guitarist, but here is one of the most important ones. You need to know the music and the special music for guitarists as in a traditional way we used to use and play when we play on performance with those different styles, okay? So escobilla, and after the escobilla, which is a moment on a really important footwork moment of the dancer, will be increasing the rhythm. Okay, and here in this moment is one of the most important things because of whenever you are accompanying dancers, you have to know that there's going to be the first section and the second section. The thing that divide one section by the other is this section. Why? Because of in this escobilla we'll be increasing the rhythm and we will be changing the style. So that's theory and you have to memorize that. Okay. If we start playing Alegrías, once we increase the rhythm, we will be changing to Bulerías de Cádiz. If we start playing Soleá or Soleá por Bulería, we'll be increasing the rhythm with escobilla and finish by playing just Bulerías. If we start playing Taranto, we will be increasing the speed with escobilla and finish playing tangos. If we start, for example, Segrilla, if we increase, we keep on Segrilla, okay? And one more, if we start, for example, doing Serrana, we keep doing Serrana. If we start doing some caña, I think that we finish with Soleá de Triana or with us exclusive Soleá style. Right now, I don't remember by memory. Okay. If we, for example, dance Guajira, we finish by singing Guajira, but on Bulería's rhythm, which is just a little bit more quick. And I think that I'm not missing and forgetting anyone. Okay? So remember that the escobilla is a moment in which we increase the tempo, the rhythm, and we change from one style to the second one. Okay? And once that we finish escobilla, we return to the structure. Okay? Finish escobilla. What happened? We are on the new style, the new quick style, okay? And here, I always call the last no structure section. Why? Because they are like random and different letras by the singers, in which in the middle of each letra, the dancer is doing some footworks just by answering what the singer is singing, and then we will be doing and working on a really big close. Usually so quick, usually so much technique. Okay. And this is a big structure. Just one thing extra. When we are doing, let me write it down here. So the structure is going to be intro, first letra, first falseta, second letra, then the escobilla, then we change to the new style with different letras and no structure section, and the close. That's a usual one, but just one really important thing. If you are playing Alegrías, the only thing that you need to include on this structure is the silencio here. Silencio is usually Alegrías are on E major, usually, okay? So the silencio is a section in which you will find just guitar plus dancer. We change from the major key to the minor. So from E major, we change to, E minor. Okay, and we change from 12 beats to 6. This is the most, and this is really dramatic. Okay, and after the silencio, we go to the escobilla. It only happens in Alegrías, on Alegrías style, only. Okay, the rest of the styles always follows 90% of the times the same structure without the silencio. Okay, that's really important. So which is a checklist that you need to know as a guitarist? What things you need to know as a guitarist to be able to play that? So at least you need an intro music or melody detail. Maybe it could be a falseta, or something could be like a fantasy around the harmony and the style. Depends of the structure, depends of their full performance. Okay, what do you want to? So you need to know how to accompany two different letras. You need to know one falseta of the slowly style and one falseta of the quick style at the end, just in case you need to do any falseta on the last part. Okay, so which techniques are you going to be using? Like 90% of the moments, rasgueo technique, and you will be using different techniques, depends of which falsetas are you playing. If you play arpeggio falseta, if you play a picado falseta, whatever. Okay, so remember that if you are accompanying Alegrías, you need to compose or learn a silencio. Okay. And so also you can start working on different rhythm patterns to get into the style. Okay, and this could be more or less a checklist that you need to know as a guitarist to be able to accompany, and for sure accompany the dancer. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, sorry, I don't know if it's correctly written, sorry for my English. Accompany the dancer, okay, which is maybe the most difficult thing. But you also, once that you also know the structure that we talked, it's going to be so much easier for yourself. And also, not just to learn, also to identify and know what is happening on the stage. Okay, that's it, guys. So we go through this full structure to see what is happening on the stage. And right now, it's not just to see the show and say, wow, that's amazing. Oh, it's so quick. No, it's to understand what is happening, and you will be able to identify introductions, falseta, singing, letra, escobilla, footwork, entrance, salida, all those details that it's so important to identify. As always, it's not just to play and practice, it's to understand what is happening around yourself when you are listening, learning, or watching any flamenco thing, no?
Correct. Yeah, like what really got me was the word silencio. Because I mean, like people would think of silencio means silence, but in reality, it's not really a silence. It's more of a
no, but it's almost it, because of it's a moment in which it's so dramatic with really dramatic melody, and also the dancers, usually women, usually men don't dance silencios. Okay, because something more with the arms, with so sexy, maybe is the word. Sorry for that. I don't know if I'm correct, but not sexy, but dramatic, like sensual. Sensual is the word in Spanish. I don't know how to say in English, but yeah. So it's not silence, but yeah, the volume get down. of what is happening because of we
Mm.
came from a big close, a big thing to close, and so explosive, so technique section, and then we go down and something like that, no? In which also the dancer is by the arms and so moving like this, It's a nice section. I like it a lot.
So there you go, guys. Yeah, we just explained the whole structure of dance. Feel free to go back and because that was a lot of information. As I said, like feel free and you can always rewatch this video. And
Yeah, that's it. Remember, once right now that you have this video and you can see it, watch it so many times. Remember that in different episodes, and you can see the video below. You can get different words that we talk about to really understand what is happening. So we already finished. Thanks a lot to Joan for this time. Also, one more time together here, and that's a pleasure.
yeah, and then also would be we talked about some things also on like in one of the episodes on the Familia Flamenco previously. So we'll be putting it in the link so you can rewatch it. So yeah, so that was pretty much it for today. Hopefully this helped you a lot when it comes to accompanying dancers and yeah. So that was it.
There we go, guys. Bye bye. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Ciao.